Hi there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your March reading. I hope you guys are doing really well, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of information comes through for you today. As always, we begin with a little bit of channeled information, and I get that when I'm meditating for your sign and picking the right deck of cards for you. And your channel information this month is challenge. And just to clarify what I mean by that, it's that you're going to be sort of in the role of instigating. Checking, double checking, investigating, challenging the status quo, challenging your assumptions, basically checking things, checking assumptions and everything like that. So as we look at the cards this month, we'll see if there's some examples of what might be something that you have to call into question, basically. So let's give these cards a nice, good shuffle. And as I do that, for those of you that join every month, you'll remember how I set this up. For the new folks, though, I just like to sort of let you know how this works. I will go ahead and pull 10 cards here, and then I expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. That allows me an opportunity to really focus on the overarching energy for the month without having to try to hit all of those points, but you'll still get all your main questions answered. So, as we see this devil card here, I understand why that word challenge came up. It's a devil reverse, so I do feel like these are avoidable sort of pitfalls here. So we'll look at everything and get a little clearer idea on what the challenge is. A lot of reversals coming through for you, which is just, again, about looking at things from both sides. You know, I'm going to pause for 1 second. A lot of times I'll get people who complain on the comments saying, you know, there's too many reversals or you shouldn't read reversals. Well, to be honest, I think to ignore a reversal is to ignore part of the data. And if there's a lot of reversals, that's the cosmic sort of information that's coming through. And I think it's perfectly valid to not read reversals and to use your intuition to sort of sense when there's an imbalance or sort of like the opposite of the card. But if I choose to look at them, trust me that there's going to be some good information in the reversals, okay? I just like to address that because sometimes people comment on it, and I don't have time to reply to each one, but I want to assure you that I've tried reading with and without, and I much prefer the reversals because it is just so much more context. You're getting basically double, it's almost like double the amount of cards. So instead of 78, you get 78 times 2. So for me, I like more information. So let's look at your catalyst card. Speaking of more information, the catalyst this month is acceptance. So you're kind of at odds here with the channeled information saying challenge assumptions and the catalyst looking at acceptance here. What I actually think is it's okay to resist. What's going to be pushed on you is the feeling that excuse me, that you're going to have to accept what someone else wants for you. Don't let their projection become your truth. You have to trust yourself, and you have to trust the way things sense, how you sense them, how, like, we're looking at this, it's taste, but I would say how they feel, how they smell, how they look, how they taste. These are just little elements. What really matters is how do you feel, and not so much what that other person feels. So I want you to challenge assumptions and don't accept things on face value. So I'm going to basically say that the friction between these two cards is actually where you are, knowing when it's appropriate to sort of go with something and when you need to challenge it. You are the one that's going to make that decision. It's up to your intuition and your gut. All right, so let's call out the devil card. Whenever it's here, I like to see where it's at, and I don't hide from that. That's something that's really important. It's in your near future, and for me, even though we can't see it, this is a beautifully illustrated deck, but this card doesn't tell you much about the devil card. What I feel the devil card is about is restrictions and sometimes honesty with sort of communication and also promises. So for those of you in a relationship, and this is going to hit around the middle to the end of the month, so it's something that's coming, it's not right at this moment. But when the devil card comes up, there are questions about loyalties, about behavior, when things are sort of like not being seen. So how honest is someone being? What are they doing when you're not looking? And honestly, why are the two of you engaged in a sort of relationship or a contract? So it can be love, it can be an affair, it can be a business contract. It can be a promise that's possibly going to be broken. But the devil usually means that whatever is on the surface isn't actually the reality of it, which is why when I was tuning into your sign, the information is to challenge. And when we look at this acceptance card, you can tell there's someone in the background, and it's not necessarily, it's almost like they're being guided to do something that they may not want to do. So anyway, listen to yourself, pay attention to the details that you see going on around you, and that's going to be really your litmus test. That's what you're going to be able to do to read the signs. But let's look at everything, and a little more focus will come in on why that card came through. First of all, beautiful Lovers card right at the center. It is reversed, so there will be some challenges in love relationships this month, whether you're in an existing marriage or long-term, or you just started one, or you're looking to date. When we have the Lovers and the Devil right by each other, I really would caution you to just take extra care with any dealings with intimate relationships this month. What might further complicate your relationships are money matters. And the Ten of Pentacles is actually a card of marriage. It's a card of sort of like material wealth. A lot of times when you see this card, you'll see like a pillar, a house, people underneath the money, the coins. And so what you want to look at is the relationship. This is much more focused, and it's showing all of the attention being on the coins or the pentacles here. And so when we're looking at the love card here, it's basically being tempered by money. And this could be the source of some of the constraints. The other thing that I'm seeing, and again, if I was just doing a relationship reading for a client and I saw the Devil and the Three of Cups, I would say for those of you that are looking into, can I trust someone this month to make a promise and be in a committed relationship, this card, the Three of Cups, usually comes up when one or both parties is either unwilling, unready, or nervous about committing to one person. Now, if you're in a relationship, what this is also saying is it might be a good time for you to hang out with friends to get other perspectives. Three of Cups is not necessarily a negative card. It's actually a very good card. But in respect to what's laid out here, when I see the Devil, the Lovers, and the Three of Cups, and this is connected by sort of a money and a stability card, you want to make sure that the friends that you or your spouse or your partner is hanging out with, that they're trustworthy, that things are feeling good. And if they're not, then this is when maybe a difficult conversation has to be raised. For you, though, I would say this is a month, if you're single, enjoy the fact that you're single. Date some people, have some fun, but try not to get too deeply into a commitment. We even have the Fool at the top, and the Fool is about flexibility. It's also about not taking unnecessary risks. So all of these cards are very much risk averting. I would say, like, try to avoid any sort of unnecessary risk taking. And when I'm looking at your deep past, I do feel like there's been a sense of keeping things, keeping secrets, not talking about things, some fears. Okay, so for those of you, I try to look at all potential things. Even though this is a general reading, I'm still going to try to help everyone. For those of you that aren't in a relationship, that aren't feeling any issues of trust, this can be much more of a broad reading. What I can see with the Lovers card is we're talking about how you feel about yourself. I was having lunch with a friend today, and one of the things that we talked about was self-love. And I think that plays a big part in this spread here. Because if you're not happy with who you are, if you don't have that self-worth, it starts to spill over in other relationships. It spills over in how people perceive you, how your friends react or talk about you, or you might perceive that they talk about you. It also sort of has an effect on how easy it is to pull people in your life, or how sort of temperamental or temporary, I was going to say, some of these relationships can be. So start with love yourself, love who you are. And I love the fact that it almost radiates out, because self-worth with the Ten of Pentacles is what's going to clear this. We don't need to fear this card. We need to clear it. We need to love it. We need to heal whatever is sort of not working. Whatever you're feeling kind of constrained, then you need to unshackle those chains. If there's something that it's feeling like you're putting it under the surface, bring it out, love it, appreciate it, and then move past it. It's when we just sort of like hide it, or we're afraid of it, or we're ashamed of it, that this card takes power. Okay? Shadows are always wanting light, love, and understanding. It's going to be a busy month for you guys. So aside from all of this relationship stuff that we're seeing, the good news is I don't think you're going to be bored. When we have the Four of Swords in reverse, it usually means a lot of activity. And we have the Daughter of Wands card here, which is showing me very good time for you to begin a new project, a new business venture. There may be a very strong fire sign that's coming in. And in addition to what I just mentioned, I really want you to focus on how, if you do enter into any sort of a promise this month, again, it can be a promise of commitment, of money, of a relationship, whatever. Try not to make it, this has to be something that you can stick with, okay? And when I look at this, I'm seeing the sort of infinity sign here, or this endless loop. Make sure that you are comfortable with the terms of your promise or your commitment, and that you're not overextending yourself. That's the only time I think you're going to get into trouble here. When I see the Father of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles here, one thing to think about, money is going to be something that you're going to have to pay attention to this month. I think that there could be unexpected cost, or you're going to have to really focus on a strong earth sign. So a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn that is exerting a little bit of energy over your finances or your work situation. So don't be afraid to stand up to that person. Don't be afraid to hold your own. The overall outlook is pretty good for you. We have the Two of Wands. And with the Two of Wands, I really think that you should be focusing on what's coming down the line here. Like the next 3 or 4 months, I want you to focus on a long-term plan, and whatever you're starting now is going to pay off in the summertime, or well, for the northern hemisphere anyway. Let's just say for the next 3 or 4 months, you're going to basically put the plan into effect now, making sure that you're comfortable with the terms of that plan, and then things are going to unfold over the course of the summer. All right, let's expand this forecast and take a look at what's coming through for your health, which includes mind, body, and spirit, of course. So this has come up a lot. Love and peace. Choose a path of love and peace. It's something I think we could all benefit from right now. So it's going to make you feel better. It says, let go of the need to be right, choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. So I really want you to focus on picking your battles and just taking care of yourself. Self-love is what we're going back to, that central message that we looked at earlier. For your wealth and career, let's give this a shuffle and see what's coming through. So make sure you trust the guidance that you're receiving. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Basically, it's as simple as that. I would say with your with relationship to sort of work struggles, this is a good time to kind of lean on a mentor and ask for some help, especially if you're in a relationship or if you're in a business sort of situation where someone else has seniority over you and is causing trouble. You'll definitely want to get some help on that. All right, let's take a look at your love situation for this month. And we have finances and careers. So I actually feel like it's less about your love. I mentioned that there could be a fire sign coming in, but when we look at this, it could actually be the most important relationship this month has to do with peers, coworkers, and business situations. It says financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. The other thing that this could mean, and it's reversed by the way, is that once you focus on your own self-worth and your own sort of money situation, that's what's going to ease up a little bit when it comes to or it's going to help improve the quality of your love relationships as well. So let's expand it out now and look at the Destiny card, focusing on where you're headed and if it feels like it resonates with your long-term goals. So I'm really happy that this month it seems like a lot of the Destiny cards have to do with expansion. So Celestial is actually about almost nothing here on the earth plane. It's about connecting as far as you can with your higher self. So if you haven't meditated before to sort of tune in to what it is you want to do, what you feel like you need to be doing, this is a good month to start to connect on that higher spiritual level. It's also a good time to to kind of create new activities that allow you to connect to that higher self. So that is art, music, meditation, clearing spaces, and acting in sort of selfless acts of love. So basically donating your time or money, or doing something just to help a friend because it makes you feel good. You don't want anything back. You just want to make dinner for someone maybe, or just an act of kindness actually brings you a little bit closer to a higher frequency, an energy frequency. So I want you to try to raise your energy. Spend time outside at night and actually look at the stars. I mean, it says celestial for a reason. So spend some time in nature. And if you want to connect with that evening energy, that evening creative energy that a lot of us don't tap into because we're just tired and go to sleep, you can also get up early in the morning. Good time for meditation is actually like 3 or 4 in the morning. If you wake up and you can't get back to bed, take advantage of that. Put on some meditative music, sit in bed a little bit, or sit up if you'd like to, and just peacefully sort of tune in, because you're at that nice zone between nighttime and daytime. You've probably rested a little bit, and you're going to get the benefit of sleep, but through staying awake. So go ahead and meditate. If you've ever had insomnia, using chanting music or singing bowls or gong, or listening to Kriya music, all of that will be really helpful for soothing your mind, especially some of the repetitive chants. It can actually put you into a nice trance and get you back into sleep if you like it. So let's bring all of this into focus one more time. I'm going to actually encourage you to work on a subtle sort of cue that we're seeing in the visual element here of this card, which is challenge what you've always accepted before. Challenge what other people are trying to make you do, and make sure it resonates with you. Looking at the cards, the message here is worth, self-worth, trust between those in your most intimate relationships. So if you sense something's going on, bring it out into the light. If you're not ready for a commitment this month, hold off. And if none of that applies, just work on self-acceptance and self-love. There's a lot of fluidity this month with the Fool in reverse. There's also a little bit of danger if you don't look at all the details. When you're doing any sort of contracts or agreements, make sure that you're not over-promising, because you're going to have to deliver. They're going to hold you to that. Come out of the darkness, come out of the shadows, and whatever it is that you're hiding, the sooner you bring it into the light, the sooner you're free. A lot of activity this month, a lot of focus on your business and possibly some challenges in your business relationships. Focus your energy on projection and dreaming about what you want to bring into focus for the next few months. This is going to help you get out of some of these sort of trickier areas that we see. And if you're feeling like you don't have enough stability, work on grounding yourself and making a solid plan. When we look at your health card this month, it's about forgiveness, releasing and forgiving those around you. It's a lot easier than holding on to a grudge. When we look at your wealth card, getting the financial advice you need, especially as we enter into tax season. Don't be afraid to ask for help rather. As we look at love, surprisingly, money and worth is going to have a big influence on your love relationships. I think it has more to do with self-worth, but if you have debt in your life, that can also have an influence on that. Some of you may be worried about a prenuptial, whatever it is. Bring money into the conversation. Don't hide it. It only will get worse if you do that. And really, the goal for you this month is to connect to your higher self. We talked about a lot of different ways that you can basically get out of your physical body and connect more with your spiritual body. However that is, whether it's prayer, meditation, or going out into nature, or looking out at the sky at night, somehow appreciating how big, how vast this world is, and what a blessing this life is. This life matters. You matter. And if no one's told you that, you're going to hear that from me tonight, that you're important and you need to connect with your spiritual self, your soul, and hopefully that's going to help you connect to your practical self and your purpose here in day-to-day life. I hope this was helpful. If you've ever needed more guidance after one of these sessions, I am available for a one-on-one appointment. So check out the appointment link and see if that's something you'd like to do. Otherwise, a great way to keep in touch with me to know when there's new videos is just to subscribe to this channel. But I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I have a newsletter as well. So join me on as few or as many of those as you'd like, and I would love to have you. Finally, if you feel like this has been really useful and you'd like to say thank you, I have an optional button there that you can click as well for a donation, so that's up to you. I really appreciate all of the participation that everyone puts into this from month to month. So the likes, the subscribes, and the comments, and your encouragement both to me and to each other. It's great when you guys support one another in the comments. So keep it up, and most importantly, I hope this gave you the clarity that you need this month, and I'll be back again next month. So take care of yourself, be true to yourself, and remember that this month is really all about looking to the future, making those plans, letting go of things that don't feel like they resonate. Don't get yourself into, paint yourself into a corner. It's okay to say no. It's okay to talk about whatever you've been afraid to talk about. Remember, self-worth. It's the most important thing. Love yourself this month, okay? Take care of yourself. Sat Nam. Much love and light. I'll see you soon. Bye.